To purchase a pass for live matchday coverage on Cardiff City TV, visit the official Cardiff City FC website. Once logged into your Bluebirds club account, navigate to Club TV and select Buy Packages. Select the pass you wish to purchase and click Buy Now. Next, fill in your payment details and click Submit Payment. Once your purchase has been successful, you will see this message. You can also check your purchase by clicking the Manage Your Subscriptions button. You now have instant access to live matchday coverage. Visit Club TV and select Live.
More's free in the box one now!
Live streams begin 1 hour before kickoff, and recommended desktop browsers are Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome. You can also watch or listen on the go via the official Cardiff City app. For technical support, email Cardiff TV support at streamamg.com.
For more behind-the-scenes content, download the Cardiff City Google extension for your home browser.
To purchase a pass for live matchday coverage on Cardiff City TV, visit the official Cardiff City FC website. Once logged into your Bluebirds club account, navigate to Club TV and select Buy Packages. Select the pass you wish to purchase and click Buy Now. Next, fill in your payment details and click Submit Payment. Once your purchase has been successful, you will see this message. You can also check your purchase by clicking the Manage Your Subscriptions button. You now have instant access to live matchday coverage. Visit Club TV and select Live.
More's free in the box one now!
Live streams begin 1 hour before kickoff, and recommended desktop browsers are Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome. You can also watch or listen on the go via the official Cardiff City app. For technical support, email Cardiff TV support at streamamg.com.
For more behind-the-scenes content, download the Cardiff City Google extension for your home browser.
good evening. Welcome to Cardiff City TV.
Wilson, a little bit of space for Harry Wilson. Strikes a goal. Oh, what a goal. Morrison, goal!
Good afternoon, welcome to Matchday Live, courtesy of Cardiff City TV, and I'm pleased to say that Tuesday night went so well, the EFL have officially granted our request to play permanently in snow now, and it is coming down quite nicely here in the Welsh capital. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ashley James for today's live coverage of Cardiff City against Coventry City. The Bluebirds, under the stewardship of Mick McCarthy, looking for a fifth game unbeaten and incredibly have the opportunity, if a lot of results go their way, not least here this afternoon, to move to 7th in the table. We've got Jason Perry coming up soon, but first of all, my usual partner in crime, John Donovan. John, Tuesday night was very, very pleasing indeed.
It was picturesque in the snow. The battling qualities that Cardiff showed, particularly in that first half, and I think the three centre-halves should be commended for how they dealt with everything coming into the box in the first half. You know, Dylan Phillips is good and is rightly getting praise for that performance, but I think the three centre-halves, we spoke about it, helped him out by taking control of a lot that was coming into that box, so he didn't have to venture too far off his line. But the team shape as a whole is just so much better, and yeah, those battle-hardened qualities. I wonder whether we might look back at that Barnsley game when City were 2-0 down. To come back to 2-2 might actually be thoroughly important, just reaffirming to the group that there are battle qualities in there, that they can score goals, they can dig out performances when they need to. So at the time it wasn't pretty to watch, but it started something under Mick McCarthy, and hopefully that continues today.
When you think the last home game here against Millwall, Cardiff did miss chances in the second half of that game to win it, but the previous manager used to bemoan a lot that Cardiff weren't good enough in either box. That was definitely an improvement last week, and it seems like that's completely changed.
A lot of things have changed. The quick starts have changed. I've really enjoyed that. Bristol City last week, and again we spoke when we covered the game on Tuesday, was it, that you know, Alex Smithies' illness and leaving the pitch could have disrupted Cardiff, but they didn't. They started well before that disruption. They continued after that. I thought in a different way on in midweek they started well. They were resolute. They showed they could hit on the break if they needed to. Kiefer Moore needed a little bit of time to grow into the game, but I thought Shea Ojo and Harry Wilson were excellent. It's a shame that Ojo's missing today. But no, lots of things have changed. Cardiff are more solid in their own box. The three centre-halves hasn't always been pretty, but they're defending very well. Again, I'd use that word resolute. And all of a sudden, from that solid base, you can start taking those chances. When you're not always a goal behind, you know, maybe that just gives you a little bit more confidence, and you're a little less tight when you're striking at goal. And yeah, chances are now going in, and you know, things could change today, and Coventry will be no pushover, but everyone here at Stadium have got a smile on their face, and that's good to see.
Well, things have changed in the starting lineup. We can say that. John's touched on it there. There are two changes to the Cardiff lineup. Both of them we expected. Joe Rolls and Shea Ojo both picked up injuries in that midweek win at Rotherham, and the matchday squad all together. In their place comes Josh Murphy. He had a magnificent late cross for Joe Bennett's winner at the New York Stadium, and also Mark and his experience comes back into the middle of the park. There's also a place on the bench for a returning Leandro Bacuna, who missed midweek through an injury, and also youngsters Isaac Davis and Ruben Colwell once again, and what again looks like a very, very youthful Cardiff bench. John should probably start with Josh Murphy. We keep waiting for his Cardiff career to ignite. He had a fine moment coming off the bench in the week. He's had fine moments coming off the bench in recent weeks. He gets a chance to start this afternoon. This feels like a big opportunity for him.
It does, and how many times have that? But I feel there is something slightly different this time, and you and I have decided. I've been chomping at the bit to see him play more central, more often. And I think that's what sort of 2 number 10 formation gives him the opportunity to do. Yes, of course he'll drift wide, but he can also run behind, run the channels, as I watch the balls behind me. But I think there's an opportunity for him to I often felt with Josh Murphy, he'd be isolated on the touchline, and then every 5 or 10 minutes he'd get a ball and be expected to beat 3 men and create something. When he didn't, we all maybe frowned upon it because we knew he came with a price tag, we knew he came with talent, and maybe it didn't quite happen. I wanted to see him play a bit central. I know that's something you have as well, and I think this sort of double 10 setup that Cardiff seem to be playing with might suit Josh Murphy. Not only can he go wide, but he can run in behind, he can force centre halves back, he can open up space for Harry Wilson. So I'm excited to see Josh Murphy today.
2 other players that caught our eye in midweek, Joe Bennett, Perry Ng. They seem to be growing into those wing-back roles now, and as the team are in this formation, they look more and more comfortable week on week the more they work on it in training.
They do, and that cross-diagonal ball, we saw it for the goal. I must say I saw it in under-23s on Tuesday against Colchester, so I think it's something that the whole club are working on. It was good to see the under-23s playing the wing-back system. They were looking for those cross-field diagonals to either wing-back, and certainly that's happening in the first team. I don't think that they are natural bombing on wing-backs, but then again, referring to those 2 number 10s, I don't think necessarily they need to be, because those 2 number 10s one of them can go wide, one can run the channel. So they've got to be solid defensively, first and foremost, on a Mick McCarthy team. But no, they're starting to understand that they can create space for other players just by the positions they take up on the pitch. And credit to Joe Bennett, late stages of the game, heeding his manager's instructions, making that run for the diagonal ball, and credit to Josh Murphy for finding him. It was a great goal, and a goal that made Joe Bennett and a lot of other people happy, because I think Joe Bennett's had played a lot of football in the last couple of years, and sometimes we were a little tough on him because he sets high standards. But it was great to see him score that winning goal on Tuesday night.
And finally from me to you, Kiefer Moore. Game changed in the second half when Kiefer Moore got a handle on it, didn't it? And he really started to dominate particularly Richard Wood in the way that he did with the 2 Bristol City centre-halves the week before.
Well, the whole game against Bristol City, and certainly for 45 minutes, maybe an hour on Tuesday, he's been phenomenal. He's physical, yes. I think, and you referenced it in commentary, I think he's slightly more subtle about how he goes about things at the moment, in terms of playing with his back to goal, drawing challenges, winning free kicks, getting Cardiff City up the pitch. He's not bemoaning to the referee or making things obvious, but he's an athlete. He's a racehorse. He can run in behind. He's strong. He's physical. He's got a good shot on him. We said that maybe he'd had a disappointing first half on Tuesday night, but yeah, he was still alive to that half chance where he struck the ball just outside the box. Great technique. So he's a player that is, well, Mick McCarthy takes credit for him. He identified him at Forest Green, and it looks like Kiefer Moore is enjoying playing now as a more established pro, a more senior pro, back under Mick McCarthy. Yeah,
Mick McCarthy enjoying a lot at the moment about his time here in Cardiff City, and this is what the manager had to say yesterday ahead of today's game.
I've been delighted. They've responded to everything. I said when I first got the job, I had a look at the squad, and I mean, arguably, it's probably the best squad I've ever inherited. Taking a job where when results haven't been going well for Neil prior to me, and then me getting the job, it's been really pleasant. It's been really pleasing that the squad that I've inherited, good players, and and quite clearly, having seen the last the games that we've had, that they've got a real work ethic as well, and be prepared to scrap, because they've had to do, certainly on Tuesday night, in that all those snowy conditions as well. If we win at the weekend, we'll be where we are, depending on what everybody else has got out of the games. It sends a message out to ourselves that actually, if we win, and we've ended up with 11 points from the 5 games, it's the message to us that actually we've got good players and we've got good lads, and we can win games in the Championship, and we should be looking at the backsides of the top 6 and not the noses of the bottom 3.
Yeah.
And had we lost at Bristol, we'd have been on 31 points, I think, and 5th bottom. So, we know how significant the 2 results were.
Yeah.
We need to keep getting wins. We've had 2 really good results, and I've said to the lads this morning, what we can't do is be complacent and think we've had 4 results. We've had 8 points from 4 games. It's a great return. But we don't suddenly start believing that we're this team that can just go and press all the way. We've got to win tomorrow and get something out of the next game at Luton. And if we can do that 6, 7, 8 games, then I think we might start believing. But what I don't want to do is be bigging it up and then suddenly find we trip ourselves up against Coventry tomorrow. So I only have a look as far as the next game. I'm sorry, I get a bit boring with that, but there's no point. So let's see where we are on Saturday. And if you're saying to me that after the game or on Monday, we'll make another great 3 points, you could, well, you know, I'll be delighted. If I'm a player and I've lost against anybody, I don't want to lose twice against them. That's for sure. But it shouldn't really matter, you know. You for 90 minutes you dislike all the opposition. You want to slap them. And that's just the way it is. Whoever's playing, whoever's managing, it's all about us. It's about Cardiff. It's for us to win games.
Mick McCarthy there, talking before this afternoon's game with Coventry City as the snow starts coming down even heavier, and a very happy Mick McCarthy, as you might expect. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by former Cardiff captain Jason Perry, who's at pains to point out, ladies and gentlemen, that his wife is a professional hairdresser, and that's why he's looking so suave before you start firing those tweets in. Yeah. Jace, a chance this afternoon for Cardiff, first and foremost, to exercise some ghosts of St Andrews, because it was a particularly poor night in the reverse fixture, probably one of the poorest nights in many a season for Cardiff.
Yeah, I covered that game and it wasn't great to watch. Far too open. This side, Coventry will push the ball around. They like to pass it. It was made easy for them. I think they took advantage of Bakuna not being a right back, pushing up, and they got the outsides of Morrison. So yeah, it wasn't a good night, and of course we lost, but it's a different Cardiff City, isn't it, going into this game? A much different Cardiff City, more organised Cardiff City, so I'm hoping for a far better performance and of course the correct result, and that's a Cardiff win.
Fantastic. Other than the shape, which we'll come on to a little bit, what have you seen in such a quick turnaround from Mick McCarthy's come in? What have you seen from the outside looking in as an ex-pro that he's been able to impart on this team? Yeah,
he's really impressed me. His quick wins. I mean, again, I'm mentioning that fact. Spaces. It's about spaces. You've got to manage those spaces. And from his first training session, he's got the back line to move higher up the field. In turn, then, you've got the midfield. And if you look at Volks and Rals, who has played previously, I know Rals is out injured, but part of their strength is stopping the opposition from playing, earning that right and then playing. And of course, then, the front three are not isolated. And that's been a problem until Mick McCarthy has come here. We've not been able to close down high up the field. And when we have, it's been in ones and twos. But he's really, really worked on that back line moving up. And having a full back in, Perry NG, that has made things easier. Because he knows when to go forward and when to come back. And in turn, Morrison's a lot happier. The balance is a lot better with his formation.
Fantastic. Quickly run you through the Coventry team news. Not much to tell you about, really. Unchanged 11, as you probably expect, from an impressive midweek goalless draw with Watford. They've struggled with a raft of injuries in recent weeks, but they can welcome back 4 players to the bench this afternoon they've been without, notably Tyler Walker. Ben Sheaf as well, the Arsenal loanee in the middle of the park. He's back on the bench. Amadou Bakakio, as well as former Bluebird Ben Wilson, who's been sat out with COVID protocol, and he's back on the bench this afternoon. But to reiterate, an unchanged start in 11. So the same formation as they have been playing. They threw a curveball at the reverse fixture and played 4 at the back. 2 teams matching up in exactly the same formation today, playing that midfield box with the 2 narrow number 10s.
Yeah, and again, the thing you say in the change room, manager said it to me, they'll say to them is, there's 1v1s here, and we have to win the most battles. So you look against the person you're playing against to make sure that you stop him playing and you have a better game. And whichever team has the more wins out of that will probably win the game. But I've been very impressed. It's more than formations, it's understanding your role in that formation. And as I said, Perry NG knows when to go, when to come back in. He protects the centre-halves. But Murphy comes in, I think he likes it there. He'll enjoy this. Harry Wilson enjoys just playing in those 10s, that box. And again, it'll help Pack, because for me, Pack at times, we've had a go to him, can he look forward to pass? Maybe that pass isn't there. He's got no excuses now. You've got Murphy, you've got Wilson, you've got Moore, and what they will do, and I've seen Murphy play in his position, he makes some great runs behind, but we've not necessarily given him the service, and he gets frustrated. So, yeah, I'm confident with those players that are out there this afternoon, and that formation, as I said. Another good thing the manager has done, he's come in, he's looked at the players and thought, which formation suits this group? And I think he's got it spot on.
And I mean, not to be too simplistic about it, John and I have been saying that it probably suits Cardiff, this formation. It has done for maybe 2.5 years. The former manager got spooked by that result at Queen's Park Rangers, didn't he, playing it, which it wasn't the system's fault on that afternoon. There were some horror show individual performances. Yeah,
and I can't remember the game before it. I covered that, and he went into a 3 then, and it worked, and it was too soon. It's what you do on the training ground. It's what you say to your players. You've got a short space of time to give them the information in the right way that they understand, and they can carry it out. It's having the right people in those in the right positions, and that's what Mick McCarthy has done extremely well. They look happy, but it's also a case of knowing when to press, when not to press too. That is the big difference. We've seen too many times people like Harry Wilson that wants to and looks frustrated. Now he's enjoying it because he looks behind. He's got the midfield with him. The midfield look behind. They've got the back line with them. So yeah, it's about knowing your role in it, and they certainly do at the moment.
Touch on Coventry very quickly then. They've struggled for goals of late, struggled for wins as well, but incrementally as they've grown into this season, they look a tougher nut to crack defensively.
I like them. I do. I think they're very brave. They know how they want to play. They'll try and pass it. They'll take chances. And that was part of our problem. When they do play from the back, we didn't press. I see us pressing high this afternoon and saying, go on, do it, and we'll pick our moments. But yeah, if you don't get into their faces, if you don't let them know that they're in for the game, this team can hurt you. Don't worry about the league position. They can hurt you. But I can't see that. I think Mick McCarthy will make sure his players understand what they need to do to win this afternoon.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jason Perry. I'd let you go and get a cuppa before you join Mark Denham on commentary for live coverage this afternoon. Your usual reminders then that if you are watching this on YouTube, you need to switch over now to the Cardiff City app or the website to watch the rest of the game, and of course buy your pass if you haven't already done so. Another reminder, you can order a digital copy or a physical copy of the Matchday programme, the Bluebird, and seeing as it's Valentine's weekend, I thought it was only fair if you read that this weekend. I've written what's practically a love letter to Aaron Gunnison, and I'm not ashamed of it one bit. So up next, before live commentary, we've got Curtis Nelson, goal scorer in the recent seven-side derby against Bristol City. This is what he has to say heading into this afternoon's game.
Thanks, Curtis, for joining us ahead of Coventry City. After 2 consecutive away wins, it must be great to be coming back to Cardiff City Stadium with that momentum behind us.
Oh yeah, definitely. The last 2 results, well, even the last 4 results, to be fair, we've gone 4 unbeaten now. Especially after Tuesday night in the snow and whatever, it's nice to be back home on home soil, I guess.
Yeah, and obviously going back to last weekend as well. Great for you to get your first goal of the season and in a 7-side derby, no less.
No, I don't mind scoring goals. To be fair, it's not my one of my main things that I kind of go out to do. But if I get a goal, I'll take it. It's maybe a little bit dubious as to whether it actually took a deflection on the way through, but it is what it is. But yeah, more importantly, we got the 3 points and a clean sheet as well.
Yeah, in both of those games, we've been playing a 3 or a 5 at the back, depending on how you look at it. And is that a system that suits you well?
Yeah, I again, like I've played it before, so the 3-4-3, 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it, is a formation I've kind of played before. I've played kind of all across the 3 now on the left-hand side and whatever, and it's brilliant to have obviously Flinty back in after his injury and after 3 months or whatever. So yeah, it's really good. One
of several changes we've seen under the new manager. How much have you enjoyed training and playing under Mick McCarthy and TC as well?
Yeah, it's been good so far. Obviously, the results have been good. So we've had obviously 2 wins, 2 draws, and whatever. So we're starting to go in the right direction as to where we want to be as a football club. So far, I can obviously only say positive things because it's been a positive start for the club and for us as a team.
Finally, you've done your homework on Coventry City this week. You'll be expecting another tough challenge, and it's all about keeping those results going.
Yeah, we did a bit in training this morning, and we did a old v young, and then we was on to shape. So that's pretty much how we've kind of been our pre-match training sessions have been. And yeah, we know what to expect. Obviously, we've got a few clips and things like that to watch as well. But we'll have a meeting before the game tomorrow, and yeah, we'll go and look for the 3 points.
Top 5 in association with the Big Yellow Self-Storage Company.
To purchase a pass for live matchday coverage on Cardiff City TV, visit the official Cardiff City FC website. Once logged into your Bluebirds club account, navigate to Club TV and select Buy Packages. Select the pass you wish to purchase and click Buy Now. Next, fill in your payment details and click Submit Payment. Once your purchase has been successful, you will see this message. You can also check your purchase by clicking the Manage Your Subscriptions button. You now have instant access to live matchday coverage. Visit Club TV and select Live.
Moore's free in the box, 1-0!
Live streams begin 1 hour before kickoff, and recommended desktop browsers are Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome. You can also watch or listen on the go via the official Cardiff City app. For technical support, email Cardiff TV support at streamamg.com.
For more behind-the-scenes content, download the Cardiff City Google extension for your home browser.
Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
Wilson, a little bit of space for Harry Wilson, strikes it, goal! Oh, what a goal! Morrison, goal!
With snowy Cardiff City Stadium here for Matchday Live with me, Mark Denham, and Jason Perry for live commentary of the Bluebirds against Coventry City for probably the first time in 12 months. I think it's fair to say that it may be best that you stay home today because it's absolutely freezing. We're right at the top of the gantry, an otherwise empty stadium, but it's certainly going to be a cold one. Jason, do you enjoy playing in these sort of conditions?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's once you get over that white line, you totally forget about the weather. Your mind is totally on that game. You know what you need to do as an individual. You know what you need to do to function in the unit. In my case, the back line, and what the team needed to do. So everything just went out the window, and just making sure that you come into that changing room and celebrate it, because that is the best feeling in the world, earning that right. So now, weather, forget about it.
I was watching the game at Rotherham, actually. I was thinking this as we were commentating it on midweek. As we're getting into the latter stages of the game, and I was thinking that maybe in better weather conditions a manager may make a substitution, but is it a risk putting a sub on who hasn't been out there in the conditions, in the ice and in the snow? Is it a risk putting them on for 5 minutes and not knowing how the ball's running, not knowing the lay of the field?
Everything like that a manager considers, even the mindset, the different characters of your substitutes. So the question you asked, as a player you ask some of the subs coming on, because some of them are not so mentally strong. But yeah, you would have considered absolutely everything. How long have you got to allow them to get into the game? If you're somebody that dribbles the ball and gets beyond somebody, well, if you've got a pitch that doesn't allow that, it's a waste of time. So yeah, you take all those factors into consideration, even the elements.
I'm asking the wrong player about snow, Anna. You'd have played a lightning storm with metal shin pads on, wouldn't you?
I don't think the manager worried about me dribbling past anybody.
Big game today for Mick McCarthy. Chase, last time we were on comms, it was, we didn't have much positive to talk about, did we? It was a tough run of results, but last 4 games, 2 draws, 2 wins, and a big one today to close in on that top 6, incredibly.
Yeah, and it's funny, isn't it? A new manager comes in all fairness to him, he's used all his experience. He's immediately changed the side simply by pushing them higher up the field. It seems simple, but to get players to believe and to trust that you're leaving this space behind, you need to understand that then the manager will affect the people in front of you, because you don't want those players putting ahead and putting that behind you. So he's gone from the back, midfield, forward line, and they're functioning as a team now. They're going back, they're coming forward, they make it very uncomfortable for the opposing team. And then we've seen glimpses of what we're capable of with the type of player we have, like your Harry Wilsons, your Murphys, that like to express themselves. So yeah, it's a good balance to the team at the moment.
Was it Alf Ramsey who said that he picked the England 66 World Cup team by putting the best players in the positions, not necessarily the best 11, but the best player for that position? And is Mick McCarthy doing that? He's gone, well, I've got all these boys and they're all good, but I need to, I can't put square pegs in round holes, so to speak.
That's the skill of a manager. It's not about going out and picking. It's not about just getting somebody you feel is a good player, and that's been a problem with a lot of football clubs. He's a good player, we'll buy him. Well, he could be a good player for one team, but an average player for another team, simply because you've got to allow their strengths to work for you. So let's say, for instance, Kiefer Moore, he's got a strength. If you give it to him early, he'll chase for you, but you want to get your crosses in. But if you don't get your crosses in, it's a waste of time. Harry Wilson, he's a good player in between the lines, but if you're not prepared or got somebody else in your team that can give him that ball, it's a waste of time. So it's getting the players into your team that allows the whole team to function. That's what it's about, not about individuals. It's about how do you make your team play the way you want them to. And again, you've got to compliment the manager. He's come in mid-season, so he's got his squad, he's inherited these players, he's had a short window, not much money, but he's identified a system that suits the vast majority, if not all of them. And that's what he's done very, very well. And the players look happy.
They do, don't they? Yeah, smiles on faces out there for sure today. 2 changes for the Bluebirds, and that's Joe Rawls and Shea Ojo missing out after knocks at Rotherham in midweek. So an opportunity from the start for Josh Murphy today, as well as Marlon Pack. Those two deep in conversation on the edge of the centre circle now as we ready ourselves ahead of kick-off for this one. Coventry City in their away colours of red and black this afternoon. City back in blue, white, blue after an all-blue strip in South Yorkshire in the snow in midweek. And we're just a few moments away from kick-off in this one. One early game today, finished 0-0 between Forest and Bournemouth. Incredibly, that is a result now that we're now looking at and going, oh, it's a good result for us. Bournemouth in that